Hello, this is Rage with usgamersonline.com. I want to do a quick review on the xclio wind tunnel case. Well, let's get started. This is the front of the wind tunnel. It's got their logo up here, which is kind of neat because it's an X with a circle around it. You go down the panel, and let me open this up a little bit. That's a temperature readout. That's pretty unusual, actually, to have a temperature readout built right into the front of the case. It's got reads out in Celsius of the case temperature internally. Then we got see this mesh screening. Well, behind this mesh screening is hard drive bays. Look at that. You could come up with some sort of hot swap on the other side, so you could just pull the hard drives out the front. Pretty neat, huh? Let's clip this back into place. If I can get it back into place. Oh. There we go. There we go. And then let's go around the side here. And we've got these 250mm fans on the sides. Now, they're intake fans. They're very, very quiet, actually. Noise you're actually hearing is from my 4870 X2. Then we got over here, see these little buttons over here? Button, and there's a lever here. These are fan controls. You can control the speed of these two 250mm fans. And you could turn off each individual light independently. See? Let's see here. Pretty neat, huh? See? You get to control them individually. That's pretty sweet. And let's go on top here. We got some ventilation here. And then on top we got a 200mm fan for exhaust. And then out the back we got a 120mm fan that's exhausting. And we got thumb screws to hold the side of the case on. And while we're on the outside of the case, I want to note something, a con actually. When I got this case in, I pulled it out of the package and the back foot was broke off. The clips were broke off that attaches it from underneath. But I got a hold of xclio and they're sending me a new back feet out free of charge. They said they'd be here within 7 to 10 business days, so that was pretty cool. I didn't have to, it wasn't too hard to get them to replace it for me. One other thing I'd like to note also is trying to find these 250mm fans is there's hardly any options out there because they're so large for buying them. Along with the 200mm, there's hardly any options out there, but there are like 1 or 2 options. So hopefully this catches on with the fan size because they move a lot of air. I want to note something else here real quick. 24 Celsius internal fan, or internal temperature. With my other case, my previous case, I was getting around 35 Celsius. So that's like 10 Celsius. That's a huge difference. Huge difference. I mean, 35 Celsius, that's like 108 degrees or something. Fahrenheit. 24 is like 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 85 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that. Well, let me take off the side of the case now so I could show you some internal stuff. Take the thumb screw out, pull the side of the case off. There we go. And we get the more hard drive bays. And there's my 2 Velociraptors in RAID 0. And then the last one's a secondary Barracuda, just the external drive I'm using. That's my 4870 X2 card. That's my X3 1000 watt power supply. And let's see here. And it's got a little bit of cable management. If you notice, there's a hole in the back plate over there. Got a hole over there. You run cable through to your CPU, 8-pin, 12 volt, and then we got that 24 pin over here, of course. So everything really came together rather well. I like this case. It's sweet. If you need something with a good airflow solution because you got some high temp card like the one I got, this is definitely the case for you. Put on this side panel. I'll just lean it up for now. Then also I had a problem with this rail right here. See this rail that goes across here? Well, I have to hook in my cables from this side and put a lot of tension on my power cable. I had to really pull on this to get my power connected to the hard drive. Anyways, there we go, just laying it up against there. And then on this side of the case, this side also slides off, see? It's a plate. You can see the plate behind it. Well, you can't see it, but there's a plate behind here. And on this side of the case, I was thinking about taking a Dremel or something and cutting some holes out and turning around the hard drives and running the cables through the back side, so I don't have to worry about that little bar that goes across that I was showing you. It only hinders the Raptors. With the secondary hard drive, my Barracuda, the power and the connections are down a little lower, so that bar is not even in the way. It's just with the Velociraptors. Anyways, all in all, this is about a 9 out of 10 case. Well, it's the best case I've owned. I haven't had really too much problems with the case itself. Assembly was pretty fast. Anyways, this has been a review by Rage at US Gamers Online. Till next time.